tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't afford that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that did my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling. Open out the doors and let them all in here. Yeah, they all in here. Ooh, big dog. We come out the pound, so we big dog. Heavy paddock on me, break my wrist off. I'm young out of rocket, about to live, dog. 3, 2, 1, I got big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the field with a stick all black. Don't try with a spoken, we ain't with all that, yeah. Big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the field with a stick all black. Don't try with a spoken, we ain't with all that, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Jigs, fall in line. Yeah. We got sticks like it's Columbine. Yeah. Running up the dollar signs. Yeah. Ain't no hiding from them hollow cans. Yeah. Bring up like the Taliban. Ooh. That's my paper, don't you bottom mine. Yeah. Heavy paddock on me, break my wrist off. Yeah. Yeah. Lift off. I got big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the field with a stick all black. Don't try with a spoken, we ain't with all that, yeah. Big dog status, now I'm a big dog, bet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette, yeah. Riding around the field with a stick all black.
Sometimes when I play for people, they come up to me afterwards and they tell me that what I've played was something changing. It's something that they can relate to, something that has touched them. And when I hear those responses, it's something that brings fulfillment to what I do in the practice room and gives purpose to the music that I am creating. My name is Thompson Soo, and I'm a cellist currently studying at the Juilliard School. I've been playing the cello ever since I was 6 years old. I actually didn't want to play the cello at first. My parents forced me to. My older brothers already played the violin and the piano, and they wanted a piano trio, so I was naturally put on the cello. But over the years, I've grown to love it. Its voice and its range reflects my own voice. I relate very deeply to it. I started playing video games when I was 5. I started with StarCraft Brood War. I was quickly drawn into the gameplay because it had many strategic elements that I extremely enjoyed. One of them being build orders, actually. It reminded me a lot of perfecting a technique in cello playing. Both of these things may seem very simple to a viewer. They may come out as seamless and easy, but it is the result of countless hours of practice. Hey man, you even had to call. This is the jersey I wore back when I used to play StarCraft 2 competitively. I played in MLG back in 2014, and I was top 40 in the world on Global Ladder, and playing random. I unfortunately had to step down from playing competitively due to time constraints, but fun memories. I currently just play games as a hobby and to de-stress. Currently the game I play the most is Apex Legends. My favorite character to play in the game is Caustic. He's more of a strategic character. You can trap players in separate rooms by throwing gas barrels in front of doors. And I love outplaying an entire team by myself, then coming back to finish them off later. Living in New York is hectic. There's always something going on. Whenever I come back to the city, I'm instantly swamped with projects, with performances and activities, there's always something happening. I'm bouncing back and forth between playing music for a small classical concert on the east side, and then I have to go back to school where I'm playing just a chamber gig for an organization. I play on a 1926 Carl Becker from the Coburn Foundation. It's a nice instrument. Took a couple years to play in, but now it's starting to sing. As a musician, I need an instrument that can capture my voice. Just as importantly, I need a computer that can keep up with everything that I do. I use an Alienware M15. I use it in my lessons for my chamber rehearsals where we can record and get instant feedback. I use it for Livestream concerts, and it allows me to edit audio tracks for music videos, and it lets me play games. It lets me unwind at the end of the day, dropping a couple games at PAX with my friends. The pandemic has halted the live performance industry quite abruptly. Playing online is very different from playing for people. When you play for someone in person, there is connection between performer and audience. I mean, I just played a recital this past week, and it was like you walk on stage, it's an empty hall, and it was extremely weird. I finished playing, and I walked off stage to the sound of silence. There was no applause. It was just me and my cello. My professor at Juilliard for my undergrad, Joel Krosnick, told me that the journey of a musician is never black or white. It's always constantly moving and fluctuating. And that I should just always pursue what I love doing. I'm looking forward to walking on stage again.
Hello and welcome everybody to today's presentation for Intel Arc Control. My name is David Nassau and I'm super excited to share how Arc Control takes your gaming experience to the next level on Intel's latest integrated and discrete graphics cards. There are going to be 3 sections of today's presentation. I'll start by walking you through the Intel Arc Control software. Then we have some of my best friends up here on stage for an exclusive PAX East conversation with the dev team behind Intel Arc Control. And finally, we're going to close with a live demo of Arc Control playing CSGO, showcasing some of its best features and capabilities with CSGO. So Intel has started towards its long-term vision of creating frictionless gaming and content creation experiences for gamers and creators around the world. And that introduces innovation and choice in hardware, coupled with open and accessible software. And that's where we come in with Intel Arc Control. But before we dive into the Arc Control software, it's important to understand where we've been on this journey. Years ago, when we first committed towards this long-term vision in entering the discrete graphics space, we had a companion software that had very basic entry-level or very basic 3D graphics settings and display and power management capabilities. Then, based off of some of your user feedback, we revamped and overhauled that whole experience and created the Intel Graphics Command Center, or the IGCC for short. This is a brand new overhauled experience in terms of both the visuals and the capabilities of what it can do. this IGCC actually introduced audio detection for games, and it also had some capture capabilities for some of you creators. And then we have now Intel Arc Control, which is built on that foundation laid by its predecessors with its own secret sauce and superpowers that we're about to dive into right now. So without further ado, I'm going to hop on this desktop, or sorry, with this software and summon Intel Arc Control right now. And so if I'm trying to get this viewed up here on stage, we're able to see Intel Arc Control summoned in an instant with this hotkey Alt-I. And what you're able to see here is Intel Arc Control is built and designed as an overlay experience to really keep you immersed in your gameplay and keep you doing what you do best. And when you launch into this Intel Arc Control experience, you're launching into your drivers tab. And what you're able to do here is stay up to date with the latest drivers and information of what we're doing with our developer partners as well. So really, when you're here, you can actually schedule and automate this process to make downloading your drivers as simple, easy, and intuitive as possible. You can actually automate those drivers, and you can schedule when you want your drivers to be downloaded. And so what we're also doing here is showing you what we're doing with our latest game dev partners. When you're also downloading stuff like drivers onto your PC, it's probably best that you understand really what you're actually downloading here as well. And so here, this top banner where it says Welcome to Intel Arc Control will link to a blog post that actually shares what's good and what's happening in the latest Intel driver update and why you should really want to download that latest driver. Next, in this bottom left area, Intel works with game developers around the world to make their games optimized for Intel hardware. And here we're showing some latest proof points of our partnerships in the game space. In the right-hand side, you're able to see some of the marketing relationships we have with our partners in terms of some giveaways, sweepstakes, and promotions. And that can also be found at game.intel.com. At the bottom, you're seeing a banner that's rotating with some other of our key game dev partners. This whole experience is really here to help you all as gamers get the most of your Intel CPU and GPU performance. And if you're a developer in the audience and you're interested in these opportunities, come find me. If you're watching online, please go to gamedev.intel.com to join our Boost program or reach out to us directly. And so, speaking of games, there's a Games tab here that really showcases your game library. We're going to be talking again about CSGO later as well. It can automatically sense your games, and you can upload you can program it to show your games in your game library. But really what we're here for is the Performance tab. As gamers, you really care about how your system is performing and really what those metrics mean for you. And so here you're able to see really what your system is performing in real time with live telemetry overlay. With the live telemetry data. And here you're able to see a number of cool bells and whistles that you're able to select manually and show what you want to see, and or if you're a streamer, what you want your streamers to see. And so what we're also able to introduce is, again, a live telemetry overlay with the hotkey Alt-O. And Alt-O is able to be popped up with or without Intel Arc Control on your system. So with the telemetry overlay, you can be interacting naturally with your desktop when you're playing your game, so you can have your live performance metrics visible here for you on screen. So summoning Intel Arc Control again in an instant, we have Arc Control pulled up, we have the live performance telemetry data in the top right corner, and all of this can be programmed. If you go to the app preferences in the settings, you can actually show where Arc Control pops up on your PC, how it looks to you, and control some of the appearance settings as well, like this app, the transparency. So next, we've been talking about creating in some studio, streaming a couple times here. So let's dive into this Studio tab. This Studio tab is a full suite of camera and streaming solutions built for creators, gamers, and working professionals. And honestly, even if you've been at home on your computer and on video calls with your friends and family, you've really enjoyed that experience, you're going to love this Studio tab. There are 4 main sub-tabs within this studio, with our Creator Studio. there's this broadcast tab that showcases the streaming capabilities. There's capture, which basically allows you to record your screen. Highlights is for auto game highlights, which we're going to be talking about a little bit later. And then there's your virtual camera, which again, I'll be saying hello here and going back to shortly. So if you are a streamer, this is a very simple, straightforward, easy streaming solution that any gamer can hop in and take advantage of. You can control which display you want to be seen, which audio device you want, maybe again, which mic. Many times we have different mics in your setup. You also have different microphones, and you have your camera mode, which is like where you want to be viewed on the stage. Now, if you're a more advanced person, you want to be able to fine-tune the audio and visual fidelity of your stream, you can configure some of these advanced settings. These advanced settings is really going to be able to take your stream to the next level. You can control resolutions, frame rate, and some of those bit rate to make sure that your stream is in the best quality as possible. So again, all of this is here for you to make this as simple and straightforward and easy for those entry-level gamers and streamers to get into that streaming space. The only other thing you need is your stream key and stream URL that you can use with Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, or others. And so it's a really incredible opportunity to really try out streaming for the first time if you've never streamed before. And that said, as streamers, many of us as streamers that stream as well use cameras, right? So the next thing we're going to dive into is our virtual camera. So Intel's virtual camera is, again, for those of us who, again, are streamers, working professionals who work from home, or again, if you're on a video call with mom, parents, family, friends, kids, anywhere, you can actually take advantage of these virtual camera capabilities and plug into many different third-party softwares. So here, again, you can select your camera source, resolution, but the real secret sauce here is you're able to control various background effects. There are 3 different background effects that you can control. You can remove the background right here. So this will be really exciting when you're playing a game and you want the game in the background and nothing else. You're also able to blur your background with a nice bouquet effect. And then you're also able to replace the background with an image, right? And so all of these can be done with the addition of auto frame, which basically just keeps you centered on screen. So when you move around, the camera follows you around naturally. And obviously, when you're doing all of these different camera settings and messing around with the software, it's important you have this preview to make sure you're looking your best while you're playing your best. And speaking of looking your best and playing your best, we have some beautiful looking people up here on stage. My friends Antal and Jackie, the leaders of the dev team of Arc Control. Please give them a warm round of applause.
Hey guys.
So in this conversation with the dev team, we're really excited to have Antal and Jackie here. Again, we have some selected questions from our Intel Insiders community Discord that we're really looking forward to showing. And again, if you guys aren't involved in our Intel Insiders community Discord, please jump on with us. We have people ready to say hello, answer any questions you might have, and we're here for you guys because this is we're all excited. We're gamers ourselves, and we're excited to be interacting with you all as gamers to be creating this amazing community. So without further ado, how you guys doing, Antal, Jackie? Feeling good?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So the first question we have from the Discord is, what was your first visions when you're trying to develop Intel Arc Control?
Well, I guess when we looked at a lot of solutions in the PC space, console space, mobile space, we wanted to design something that is overlay first to have the least impact on someone's gameplay, right? So we wanted to design something that is very performant and is very much aligned with frictionless gaming, right?
Yeah. Very cool. And Jackie, do you have something to add as well? You made the gesture.
Yeah, so for the last 3 years, like what you talked about when we first launched IGCC, so we learned a lot from launching that piece of software as a control panel. And then based on those learnings, we apply those into Arc Control to really kind of focus on the use case and just really making it as a minimum impact to the gamers while they're gaming, right? So
yeah, you could say that the Intel Graphics Command Center was designed with a bigger audience in mind, not just gamers, but Intel Arc Control is very much focused on enthusiasts and gamers.
Very cool. And when you're talking about those design choices and what you're getting some inspiration from, tell us more about some of the more interesting or fun design choices you guys might have. Again, coming from the audience, the question specifically was, do you have any weird, funny design choices that didn't get in, or any ones that stick out to you personally?
I guess we played around with a lot of like Easter egg kind of options, which I guess didn't make it in, but we're always planning some fun little hidden things that may or may not appear in later versions.
Right. I think having the overlay being the main choice is one of the biggest like design decision that we made as a team. Just because, you know, in terms of a modern approach to using multiple applications and multitasking, that makes a lot of sense, right? Instead of a traditional, desktop application, right?
Yeah, and then with the overlay and with the design choices you made, do you guys have any personal favorite experiences or use cases for Arc Control?
I mean, for me, it's mostly the auto update feature is pretty cool. As you mentioned, you can schedule it, but I think most people would just want it automatically to download and install. The other thing is the sticky overlay, the performance overlay is pretty cool. It's basically near zero performance impact, which is just pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was more how all the features in one place, right? So you don't need multiple applications and navigating through different setups, right? Like our main approach is having like a simple, like straightforward, without needing to pick up a PhD degrees to understand like how to use some of these toggles. So it's a lot of like straightforward thinking, right?
Awesome. The next question from our Discord community is a really popular one, actually. It was upvoted a lot. Was, what is your vision on the future of Intel Arc Control?
Well, I'm not sure we can be specific, but moving down this path of frictionless gaming is definitely an objective of ours, and making the connection to our hardware for the users as easy and simple as possible. Simplifying and unifying is one of those key tenets that we try to stick to.
Yeah. Did you want something to add? I didn't know.
Well, there's like tons of features that we have on our roadmap, and we would love to share more in the future. But I think what we want to do is really reach out to the community and just really understand what people are really excited for and what's the most desired features that they want to see next. And we would definitely take that, right?
Yeah, again, so if you couldn't tell, we're very excited about our community. And speaking of, one of the next questions is there something that you want everybody to know about you and the team to help the community get to know you guys more, and or anything you want them to know about how you're building the software?
I think you mentioned earlier there's a big community on like Discord driving those type of discussions, right? Reaching out to the users who are actually, using these software day to day. And we would want to get that engagement in place and get the feedback early and then kind of do iterations on it, right?
Yeah. Awesome. And then we have some final questions here as well. Does Arc Control have crash reporting directly into Intel?
So there's no automatic submission of any type of crash reports or data like that.
Right.
Locally it gets logged, but nothing is getting sent.
Right. And I will say that there's a two-way conversation here. So again, if you are on Discord and you do see something, you can then have those logs, you send them to us, and we're going to be able to help you out really one-on-one. That's really why we have our community here in the first place, right? And so additionally, there's a question around benchmarking, and is there going to be some potential benchmarking opportunities added?
Well, I would refrain from commenting on future features,
right?
But we're always looking to extend features and capabilities and telemetry type functions and features. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, and then I know that we were talking about, is there anything else that you might want to ask the audience as well?
Well, I would love to know if anybody has any feature requests that they really want to see in our control be developed that they haven't seen so far.
Cool. So what I'd like to say is, as I'm going to go back and play some CSGO real quick, if you guys have any other features that you guys would like to see in Intel Art Control, please come approach myself, Antal, or Jackie. And if you're part of our Intel Insiders community, please go to the Art Control section in our Discord and tell us what you think and what you want to know. And with that said, let's go to the final portion of the presentation, which is playing CSGO, showcasing live demo of Intel Art Control. So here we have set up a bot match, and it seems to already have been started here. So what we're going to be showcasing again is how, as this is playing, I can summon Intel Art Control with Alt-I. We have Intel Auto Game Highlights turned on automatically. And then if we wanted some of the performance telemetry overlay, we have that going as well with Alt-O. And so as this bot match is going, as I'm about to, oh, I have the bomb. Oh, nice. So let me go around. I need to, all right, I guess everybody's rushing A. I'm going to make sure I'm kind of getting some cover around here. I'll keep my gun out for now. I'm going to run across, get some cover with my team. We're a good squad right here, aren't we? Sticking together. Let me plant this bomb. Nice. So the way that that Auto Game Highlights works is you see that there's, on the top right, we show that we actually did pretty well against this bot. And so through the use of the latest AI and ML technologies, Intel actually works to make this highlights algorithm work without any need for the developer to do anything. So Intel actually takes the heavy lifting of this experience, and in the Auto Game Highlights, I don't know where the rest of the team is. I need to get closer. We won. All right, nice. Oh yeah. Woo! So again, now let's just see if I'll play one more round real quick, just so I can get at least another highlight or two in, although we did just win and I did plant that bomb, which is exciting. What I'm going to do is at least try to get another kill or two, so then we can have a pretty nice highlight reel to show you guys. Let's see where these guys are. Nice, got that guy. Nice. All right, cool. Maybe I'll just exit out right here. Ooh. I'm gonna resume. I'll just keep this game going real quick. We're almost done. All right. I'm gonna quit this game so I can actually show you guys what this looks like. I'm gonna go over to the highlights, and then now we have a cool Auto Game Highlights experience right here. I believe this is what I just did, and you're able to see some of those. Again, that was when we entered the bot experience. We were watching the bot walk around. Oh, this is from a previous one, actually. Let's do this one. Ooh. So anyway, I guess that this was what the same game. Maybe it was just played a little earlier. So this is our Auto Game Highlights feature that was functioning, and you're able to see some of these experiences here that was played literally in the game that was right before this one, right here for this live demo experience. So this is playing live for you right here on stage. So again, this must have been right in that bot match that we had up earlier. So again, thank you guys for joining me with Intel Art Control. Again, my name is David. We're really super excited to have you guys take advantage of this software and our upcoming Intel Arc products. So thank you guys so much for joining. See you on the internet.
Hey everyone, I'm Christy from Tiny Build and we're at PAX East 2022. So we have made this whole carnival experience for everyone to enjoy. So it's not only you can play our games, you can come win prizes, play claw machines, play arcade games. Here at PAX East 2022, if you've played any of our games, you'll notice that a lot of them are powered by Intel processors. And we are